Be prepared. This week is not like the others. You may think it's just another post-solstice moment, but beneath the surface, something ancient is moving. A silence before the storm, a pressure behind your eyes, a sense of urgency with no clear reason. The earth is speaking in tremors, in symbols, and your soul is the only one hearing the call. Have you felt it? That sudden exhaustion out of nowhere, the glitch in technology that feels like more than coincidence, the dream that won't leave your chest, or the shadow that brushes your energy when you're alone. This isn't anxiety, it's alignment. Because between June 20th and June 27th, a dangerous energy window is opening. Not dangerous in the physical, but in the vibrational. Old timelines are collapsing. New karmic contracts are being tested. And if you're not conscious, you'll be pulled into a spiral you didn't choose. This is the kind of week that rewrites your trajectory, that reactivates soul memories, that forces every illusion to the surface. But if you're prepared, truly prepared, it can also be the week your real power ignites, the moment you see the trap and rise above it, the exact hour you stop reacting and start commanding your path. Not everyone will survive this week energetically intact, but you were meant to see it coming. And now that you do, there's only one question left. Will you act on what you know, or fall asleep with the rest of the world? Let's begin. There's a moment just before everything shifts, when the air feels thicker, the mind more scattered, and the body restless for no logical reason. You feel like you're forgetting something, even when nothing's missing. You walk into rooms and can't remember why. You hear things in conversations that were never said aloud. That moment is this week. And if you're sensitive, you've already felt it begin. This isn't just a week of strange moods and tech glitches, it's the week the grid shifts. The spiritual infrastructure beneath this world is undergoing a subtle but powerful recalibration. And every being who is connected to that web, consciously or now, is being affected. What does this mean? It means the invisible systems of spiritual order, karmic cause and effect, and vibrational resonance are all moving into a new alignment. The rules are being rewritten. You might notice people acting out of character, saying things that shock you, revealing truths they can no longer suppress, or projecting their fears as if they're yours. You may feel more drained than usual, or suddenly hyper-aware of every sound, every face, every tension in a room. And if you're intuitive, the shift will show up in your sleep. Fragmented dreams, vivid visions, symbols you can't shake. These aren't just personal disturbances. They're proof the grid is no longer holding the old energetic patterns in place. And with that collapse comes opportunity and danger. Because when the old matrix breaks, there's a moment of disorientation before the new structure locks in. That's when energy parasites, distractions, old addictions, and karmic echoes try to reattach. Can you feel it? The part of you that wants to go back to an old version of yourself, even though you've outgrown it? That's not nostalgia, that's a test. So how do you navigate this with stillness, with clarity, with radical emotional honesty? This week isn't about external action, it's about internal anchoring. You must become more stable than the energy moving around you. Because once the shift completes, your new vibration will lock into place. And And what you choose now is what you amplify. Ask yourself, what do I no longer need to carry into this next version of myself? Who have I outgrown, not out of arrogance, but out of alignment? And what frequency am I embodying, even when no one is watching? This is the week your soul chose to remember that it's not just reacting to the grid, it is the grid. You are not just affected by the collective field, you're helping rewire it. And the more conscious you become of that truth, the more powerful your presence becomes. So if everything feels upside down right now, good. That means the real world is finally turning upright. You're not imagining it. The shaking hands, the restless legs, the pounding heart that comes and goes without warning. The sudden exhaustion that crashes over you like a wave, right after a burst of clarity or creativity. These aren't symptoms of illness, they're signs of overload. Because when the earth grid shifts, your body, the most sensitive instrument you own, is the first to register the change. What's happening now is an energetic storm. Not the kind that roars through the sky, but one that roars through the soul. Invisible to the eye, but impossible to ignore. Frequencies are clashing, portals are opening, planetary alignments are cracking open layers of density that have been sitting in your field for years, maybe lifetimes. And your nervous system is trying to keep up. Have you been feeling like your sleep no longer repairs you? Like your skin is more sensitive, your appetite erratic, your emotions right at the surface? That's not just stress, it's calibration. Your energetic circuits are being rewired to carry more light, more intuitive intelligence, and more vibrational accuracy. And that process is not gentle. It's not linear. It comes in waves, waves that test your ability to stay grounded when everything inside you feels like lightning. This is why isolation suddenly feels necessary. Not because you're antisocial, but because your field is so open, so raw, that even a casual conversation can feel like too much. Your body is asking for space. Your soul is asking for quiet. Not forever, just long enough for the upgrade to complete. Pay attention to your body's signals, not with fear, but with reverence. The migraine that flares only when you think about that certain person, that's your intuition speaking through tension. The chest pressure that lifts when you tell the truth, that's release. The goosebumps that rise when someone says what your soul needed to hear, that's resonance. These are not coincidences. They're confirmations. So what can you do right now? Slow down, hydrate, get sunlight, lie on the ground, turn off your phone for an hour, cry if you need to, scream if you must. Let your body be a sacred instrument instead of a machine you force to perform. Because in this week of energetic storms, your body is not the problem. It's the portal. And as the earth shakes, both literally and energetically, the most important thing you can do is listen. Your nervous system is not betraying you. It's preparing you. You are not breaking down. You are being reassembled into someone more intuitive, more sovereign, and more alive than ever before. Don't rush the integration. Don't numb the discomfort. Let the storm move through, and when it passes, you won't just be stronger, you'll be clearer, you'll be free. The solstice was never meant to be just a single moment in time. It's a threshold, and what comes after it can shake you more than the moment itself. If you've been feeling off, Even though the big date has passed, you're not alone. What you're experiencing now are the aftershocks, subtle but powerful ripples through your energetic field, triggered by the magnetic instability left in the wake of the solstice alignment. And this is only the beginning of what June 2021 truly set in motion. Why do you feel like time is bending, memories are merging, and nothing feels solid anymore? Because magnetics are not just forces of nature, they're forces of perception. When the Earth's magnetics destabilize, your inner compass wavers. You may find yourself questioning long-held truths, feeling disconnected from familiar roles, or sensing emotions that seem to come from nowhere. This isn't confusion, it's recalibration. Your soul is trying to find its footing in a grid that's no longer what it used to be. And if your technology is glitching, clocks are acting strange, or you've lost track of time more than usual, yes, it's part of the pattern. The veil is thinner. The layers are merging. What was once linear is becoming circular. And you are right at the center of this cosmic spin. Have you felt like you're floating outside your body? Or as if your dreams have gotten louder, more vivid, more urgent? That's not your imagination. That's magnetic turbulence rewiring your access to the non-physical. The mind may struggle, but the soul knows. These are activations of memory, of purpose, of power. But here's the paradox. This instability is a gift. It forces you to stop relying on the old structures, routines, titles, plans, and drop into something deeper, into feeling, into trust, into presence. Because when the magnetic fields destabilize, the only compass that works is the one in your heart. So what should you do during this phase? Don't cling, don't force, don't fight the flux. Instead, observe, feel. Take notes on the signs. Speak less, listen more. Journal your dreams, honor your body's needs, and most of all, ground, not just with your feet, but with your awareness. Anchor yourself in stillness, even if everything around you spins. The aftershocks may continue for days, even weeks, but they're not here to destabilize you. They're here to recenter you, to purge the interference, to remove the masks, to amplify what's real. And what's real right now is you becoming. There comes a moment, quiet, invisible, but undeniable, when everything around you begins to feel too loud, too fast, too artificial. And in that moment, your first instinct isn't to speak louder. It's to leave, to pull back, to disappear for a while, not out of fear, but out of sacred necessity. If you've felt an intense urge to cancel plans, avoid social media, stay in silence, or retreat into solitude lately, this isn't depression. It's a survival signal from your soul. You're not disconnecting, you're reconnecting to what's real. During this phase of planetary chaos and energetic amplification, your nervous system is absorbing far more than your mind can process. And your intuition knows, if you stay too exposed, you'll be absorbing frequencies that were never meant for you. That's why the withdrawal urge is showing up now, not to isolate you in loneliness, but to insulate you in protection. Can you feel it? The room full of people feels overwhelming. The news unbearable. Even well-meaning conversations feel like static. You're not broken. You're refining. You're not giving up. You're stepping back to listen again. This is the sacred art of energetic discernment. And it begins when the soul whispers, "Step away so you can hear me." And it's not just emotional. This urge is physical. You might feel exhausted even after sleep. Your appetite may shift without reason. Your skin may feel more sensitive. These aren't malfunctions. They're recalibrations. Your body is preparing for the next download, the next assignment, the next shift. But it can't receive that level of activation if it's flooded with external noise. What if silence was your most important ritual right now? What if the laziness you're judging is actually divine incubation? The universe doesn't always call us into battle. Sometimes it calls us into the cave, into the sacred inner sanctum, where upgrades happen quietly, powerfully, alone. And the more you resist that calling, the louder your symptoms become: anxiety, irritation, burnout. But the moment you surrender to the need to be still, something inside you starts to reawaken. So honor the pull to retreat. It's not weakness, it's spiritual intelligence. It's your field saying, "Let me breathe, let me cleanse, let me remember who I am without all this noise." Because after the withdrawal comes clarity, and from that clarity comes power. You don't need to explain why you're going quiet. You don't need to justify why you're pulling back. Your energy is your responsibility. And right now, protecting it is the most sacred work you can do. When the energy grid begins to shift, the first place it becomes visible is in your dreams, not in your calendar, not in your to-do list, not in external confirmations, but in the theater of your subconscious, where the veil thins, the timelines cross, and spirit finally speaks what your waking self isn't ready to hear. Have your dreams started to feel more alive lately? Have you woken up feeling like you just returned from somewhere rather than simply slept? This isn't imagination, it's a portal. As we enter the most spiritually volatile week of the month, the aftershock of the solstice begins to shake the intuitive layers of your consciousness. And suddenly, what was once symbolic becomes literal. You're no longer receiving poetic dreams. You're getting instruction, training, premonitions, warnings. And these messages don't come through thought. They come through vibration. A door is open right now, and your sleep is not rest. It's visitation. This is when ancestral patterns show up. When people you haven't thought about in years appear with strange messages. When numbers, symbols, weather, or animal totems reoccur with eerie precision. These are not random echoes, they are coordinates. They're guiding your attention to something your linear mind cannot yet decode. But your soul already knows. Are you keeping track? The color that keeps showing up, the phrase you've heard 3 times in one day, the strange sense that someone is trying to reach you from the other side. These are whispers from the field, preparing you for what's next. And this is not meant to scare you. It's meant to prepare you. Because the timelines are shifting quickly, and your intuitive compass must be clear. And here's what's important. You mustn't ignore what seems too weird to be real. That weirdness is the marker of real energy movement. If it fits too neatly into logic, it's probably not from the field. The truth is arriving in fragments, in symbols, in frequencies that only make sense when you stop trying to understand them and simply receive. What if your dream last night was showing you your next decision? What if the person you saw wasn't random, but a karmic key? What if the storm you felt in your body wasn't anxiety, but a psychic alarm? This is not the time to dismiss your visions. It's the time to document them. Because when this energetic week culminates, you'll see how the puzzle fits, and those who listened will move forward in alignment, while those who doubted will scramble to catch up. This is a prophetic window, a vibrational recalibration. And your sensitivity is not the side effect. It's the activation. The dream world is calling. The portals are open, and the only question that remains is, are you listening? There are moments in life when something ancient stirs in the present. A conversation goes wrong with no apparent reason. A stranger triggers emotions you thought were already healed. You meet someone new, and the connection is so intense, it feels like déjà vu soaked in electricity. These aren't coincidences, they're karmic collisions. And during weeks like this, when the energy grid of the planet is unstable, the past doesn't knock gently. It crashes in. The solstice may have opened a portal, but that portal doesn't just bring light. It brings the backlog of soul contracts you haven't yet resolved, because before you can leap forward, the universe brings back the pieces you left behind. Patterns, people, emotions, scars, and they don't come to hurt you. They come to reveal you. Have you been facing the same conflict in different bodies, different jobs, but the same power struggle? Different lovers, but the same abandonment wound? That's not bad luck. It's the karmic wheel, completing its revolution. And this week, that wheel is spinning faster than usual. Why? Because your soul is trying to close loops before the next cycle begins, and it can't carry old weight into the new grid. You might notice arguments that escalate quickly, emotional flashbacks, a sharp return of insecurities you thought you buried years ago. You're not regressing, you're confronting the root. Because karmic healing isn't soft, it's sharp, direct. It comes with the force of accumulated timelines demanding attention. And this week, you don't get to spiritually bypass. You get to choose differently. What are you being asked to release again? What pattern is showing up with more intensity than ever? Who or what is pulling your energy backward just as you're trying to move forward? This is the gift of the karmic clash. It's messy, it's emotional, but it's sacred. Because when old pain reappears under new circumstances, it means you're finally strong enough to respond from a higher level. The soul only repeats what the ego hasn't yet understood. And now, you're being given a moment to finally shift the storyline. So don't fall into the trap of asking, why is this happening again? Instead, ask, what truth is trying to surface this time? The universe doesn't recycle your wounds for cruelty. It does so for completion. And when you meet the past with presence, the pattern ends. The clash you're experiencing isn't failure, it's integration. And if you can stay grounded, stay conscious, and respond with awareness instead of reactivity, you'll feel the karmic weight lift and the next door quietly unlock. How to use this chaos as spiritual fuel. The chaos you're feeling right now isn't here to destroy you. It's here to ignite something. And if you look closely, beyond the overwhelm, the confusion, the exhaustion, you'll sense it. A frequency, a fire, a surge beneath the surface of all this instability. Because this week, with the grid shifting and timelines colliding, the universe isn't punishing you. It's asking, are you ready to evolve through this or escape from it? Spiritual growth has never been a gentle process. It's forged in contradiction, molded in discomfort. You're not supposed to feel fully in control during transformation. You're supposed to feel like the old rules are failing, because they are. This chaos? It's the dismantling of the version of you that was never built for this new light. And if you've been asking to ascend, to awaken, to fully step into your power, this is the answer. It just doesn't look how your mind imagined. Have you felt like you're on the edge of something, but you can't name what? Have your routines stopped working, your emotions turned louder, and your body started reacting in strange ways? That's not weakness. That's the frequency of evolution. And this is where the old spiritual teachings fall short. They tell you to find peace. But real spiritual power isn't just peace, it's alchemy. The ability to take pain and turn it into purpose, to take uncertainty and turn it into creative vision, to look into the storm and whisper, "You're not bigger than me." Start by shifting your language. Stop saying, "Everything is falling apart." Start asking, "What's trying to break through?" The breakdown is the breakthrough in disguise. When your nervous system is on overload, pause. Ground. Feel the pulse of your body, not to escape it, but to ask it, "What do you need me to see?" Because chaos isn't just noise, it's information. It's revealing what no longer supports your truth. It's sharpening your discernment. It's pushing you to build a new internal order, one that isn't reactive, but sovereign. Right now, your spirit is learning how to transmute intensity into vision, how to turn emotional surges into sacred fuel. You can't control the cosmic energy, but you can control how you direct it into art, into healing, into action, into lens that speaks louder than any noise. So let the world shift. Let your habits dissolve. Let your plans unravel. Not because you're giving up, but because you're finally tuning into something higher than planning. Alignment. The ones who rise now aren't the ones who avoid the fire. They are the ones who burn brighter inside it. There is a window, narrow, invisible, but real, between now and June 27. And within that window, everything you choose, everything you align, everything you anchor, will echo beyond what your mind can comprehend. Because this isn't just a moment of personal awakening. This is a collective tipping point. And the universe is watching. Who will rise? Who will collapse? Who will remember? The chaos of this month hasn't been random. The exhaustion, the synchronicities, the emotional floods, all of it has been a call. A call to return to yourself. But not the self that was trained to survive. The self that came here to lead light. By now, you've seen the patterns. You've felt the purge. You've been tested again and again, not just to prove your strength, but to purify your signal. Because in times of global energetic instability, the most powerful act is not resistance. It's radiance. And if you've been dimming your light to stay safe, this is your invitation to undo that now. Are you noticing how certain people are falling away? How some desires suddenly feel foreign? How your old habits feel heavier, louder, more unnatural by the day? That's not failure. That's spiritual velocity. It means you're moving faster than the versions of yourself that once kept you comfortable. And now, more than ever, you're being asked to stand in your clarity, even when everything else shakes. The planetary alignments leading to June 27 are not casual. They are cosmic code. They are designed to push dormant souls into conscious choice. This is not the time to drift. This is the time to decide. Where will your focus go? Who gets access to your field? What beliefs are you still hosting that never belonged to you in the first place? Because when the energy stabilizes after this portal, what you've anchored will set the tone for your next chapter. So ground your truth. Protect your rituals. Speak your intentions aloud, even if no one else hears them. Write what you're releasing, burn it, bury it, bless it, let it leave, and then choose light again. Not the fake light of denial, the real light that holds grief, rage, and divinity in the same breath, and still chooses love. You don't have to know exactly who you're becoming. You only have to stop betraying who you are. Because on the other side of this week, clarity will return. New soul contracts will activate. And what's meant for you will start to find you faster than ever before if you're rooted in the right frequency. So ask yourself now, what is my energy telling the universe I'm ready for? Anchor that. Let it be loud, let it be clear,